Good morning, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping on to our social media platforms in order to give you an updated look not only at the tropics but also at your local forecast. But I really do want to start with the tropics because we have Hurricane Ian, which is now a Category 3 major hurricane. The time is currently 8:07 on your Tuesday morning. Just in case you are watching it in the future, keep in mind we get updates every several hours from the National Hurricane Center. Hope your day's off to a great start so far. It's certainly feeling like fall in central Texas. I'll get to that localized forecast in just a minute, but let's give you the latest on Hurricane Ian. Taking things full now, you'll see it's a Category 3 hurricane with maximum sustained winds at 125 miles per hour. The system is moving north at 12 miles per hour and is expected to intensify as it approaches Florida. We're talking a Category 4 possibly by this afternoon. Now, as we head closer to the time of arrival into Florida, notice that it starts to weaken a little bit. In fact, if we zoom in a little bit further, you can see that time frame would be late Wednesday into early Thursday that we would see that weakening and then possible landfall. Now, once again, with this forecast cone, it's worth noting that it could go to the west, it could go to the east. You have to factor in everything within the cone and not just the center red line. But right now the forecast calls for it making contact as a level 3 or Category 3 hurricane if it were to follow that center line. And this would be between Fort Myers and Tampa. Now, right now there are storm surge alert watches and warnings being put into effect. They could possibly see storm surge up to 10 feet in the Tampa Bay area. As that system continues to move throughout the rest of the work week into the weekend, we can expect it to become an area of low pressure that brings additional moisture to some of our mid-Atlantic states. We're talking as you make your way through Georgia and the Carolinas. That'll be something to monitor as we head into the weekend if you have any travel plans in that area of the country. You are taking a look at the spaghetti plots. They are starting to get a little bit more in line with it shifting towards the east, maybe even a little bit further to the south of Tampa. Still plenty of time for this to change, but as we have a more well-defined eye or center of this system, it allows forecast models to kind of hone in a little bit more. It's more difficult for them to come up with a path whenever it doesn't have a well-defined eye, which it currently does. As we take a look at the high-resolution forecast model runs, this is just one of many forecast models. You can see this is early Wednesday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. Outer bands will have already reached the state of Florida by then, but the brunt of the force, the strongest winds and areas will be arriving late Wednesday into early Thursday before it then starts to weaken over land and then pushes its way up to the north. Once again, here are your watches and warnings right now on land. We are tracking the hurricane warnings in red and magenta. That is your tropical storm warnings, and then tropical storm watch in the shade of blue there. So obviously a majority of the state of Florida under some kind of alert at this point. Now let's take things back here into central Texas. If you are waking up and stepping outside, you probably notice how refreshing it is. Temperatures have fallen to the upper 40s for some. Currently 48 in Leander, 49 in Oak Hill, 54 out of the airport and 63 in Austin. Zoom out a little bit further and you can see the hill country also rather chilly this morning in the upper 40s. 48 and 49 degrees. Now, I haven't gotten to say the words chilly in quite some time, but it looks like fall finally decided to arrive. In fact, we're tracking below average temperatures for your mornings, but above average temperatures for your afternoon. As we head into the afternoon, expect plenty of sunshine. Temperatures warming up to the upper 80s and lower 90s. The average high this time of year is 89 degrees. We'll be in that ballpark, not only today, but actually throughout the next several days. Let me pull up your air quality alert for you. You can see we have an ozone action day today. That's going to be along the I-35 corridor and also in Bastrop and Caldwell counties. This is due to lots amount of sunshine, warm temperatures, overall calm winds, and that could lead to some elevated levels of ozone air pollution near the Earth's surface. So just make sure to limit your time outdoors if you have any chronic lung conditions. Also, as you take a look at your allergy count, fall elm trees and mold in the medium, but ragweed remains elevated. I could certainly tell yesterday that ragweed was remaining high. So if you are sensitive to those conditions, please make sure you're aware of it. Also, we will be tracking elevated fire weather concerns once again today, not as elevated as what we were tracking yesterday. If you recall, the main concern is going to be along the I-35 corridor for the most part, but as you can see, that does extend into Blanco County and Burnett County. Also, we are monitoring high levels of concern for Milam, most of Lee and most of Caldwell County, and also Fayette County. Bastrop has a little bit of a moderate dip for that region. As we take a look at your low temperatures over the next 5 days, I'm pleased to say that fall will remain. It will feel like fall through several of the mornings. In fact, like I mentioned, below average for fall this time of year. Our typical low is 67 degrees, and you can see we will be well below that throughout the next several days. As we take a look at your 7-day forecast, so many people are curious about, since an area of high pressure is really driving our weather pattern, we're not expecting large changes in our daily highs nor in our overnight lows. In fact, we're talking upper 80s to lower 90s all the way through the next 7 days. Overnight lows, we're talking upper 50s to lower 60s. Now, it is worth noting that these are the numbers for Camp Mabry and Austin. This is not going to be the case for everyone, okay? We're seeing areas in the upper 40s today. That means it's going to be fair game for some other areas as we make our way throughout the week. So just keep in mind, this is just for the Austin site. We could see some temperatures a bit cooler than the 60s and 50s as we head throughout the next several mornings. As always, we are going to be continuing to track not only your local forecast conditions, but also tracking the tropics for you and all the latest updates from Hurricane Ian. Our next show will be at 11 o'clock on KVUE midday. Love to see you there. I'll have the latest numbers from the National Hurricane Center at that point and an updated forecast cone for you. Until then, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, stay smart. Most importantly, stay kind. I'll see y'all again very soon.